Okay, am I audible, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. So we're going to start looking at the questions right away. We'll discuss a bit on the adverbs of comment and adverbs of viewpoint, just a bit, and we'll straight up start looking at the questions. Okay, so um, we discussed the adverbs of viewpoint and comment in the last session. If I, sorry, not comment and viewpoint, we looked at the general adverbs, right? So the previous exercise, we were looking at adverbs of manner, time, place, purpose, reason, so on and so forth. So this is also something that you probably have already dealt with in English 1, right? In the basics when it was introduced. Now here in the lessons on adverb, right, for English 2, the approach is more functional. So now we are going to look at them with a different perspective, right? In the sense that we're going to look at more on what are the other functions or what are the other uses of adverb besides, telling you the time, place, or manner, the obvious things, right? Those adverbs are the ones which tell you the obvious things about how something was done or where something was done, when something was done. But adverbs of viewpoint and comment similarly tells you a bit more of um, more of context in which these adverbs can be used, right? So like you see here, if you're looking at the box in front of you, right, with a bunch of adverbs here, they could easily be classified as adverbs of manner, right, if you look at it in a broader sense of adverb, right? um, all of them probably would fit under the adverbs of manner category. But what we're going to do is we're going to take these few sets of adverbs out of that manner category and we're going to look at it as adverbs of commons and viewpoints. So mostly all of them can classify under the larger group of adverbs of manner. But within that, we are going to draw certain distinctions on which among the manner adverbs can be used as a comment adverb and a viewpoint adverb, right? So it's all just detailing, right? Within the same, the broader category, we are narrowing it down to more specific function. So, what is the difference between comment and viewpoint, right? This is one thing that we can begin with. What is the difference between comment and viewpoint? Okay. So when I comment on something, what do I mean? When I say this is a comment on your uh, work or comment on your character, what does it mean? What am I doing when I'm commenting? Yes, answers. What does comment mean? Commenting on something. What do you think it could mean?
Giving your opinion.
Yes, giving your opinions, right? So when I'm commenting on something, I'm basically giving my opinion or I'm expressing my belief about something, right? My opinion or my beliefs or my thoughts about something, right? So now if it is an opinion or if it is a thought or if it's a belief, then do you think it is uh, does it add any perspective to my understanding or it is just, some sort of a superficial understanding that I have about it? Opinions are generally superficial, right? Anybody can have an opinion. It needn't be informed in that sense. Mukesh, can you please mute yourself? I could hear a lot of background noises from your side. Yeah, thank you. So, um, opinions or belief systems or thoughts, these are not refined, right? This is just a another word for it would be it's a passing comment, right? So you just see something and superficially you say something about it. It's not informed in that sense, right? It doesn't add any perspective to my understanding. When as a listener you give a comment to something, I don't understand much, right? I just know that this is what your thoughts about a given person, place, thing, or an incident is. But it doesn't give me the idea that, okay, you are talking from an informed perspective. You're not telling me from a knowledgeable standpoint, right? Or that you don't even have a standpoint. You're basically just giving your opinion about it, right? So this is called commenting, right? When I say comment on something, that this is somebody's comments on something, it basically means it's not in depth, right? It's not a perspective that that person is trying to create. It's a plain opinion. It's a plain belief that's been put forth. But on the same, on the other hand, if you're going to look at the word viewpoint, right? Viewpoint is a more serious sort of thing. So viewpoint is something that can add perspective to your understanding. Viewpoint is something that could come from an informed, knowledgeable standpoint, right? You know something. This is basically trying to add a perspective to what you already know or what you probably did not know, but now you have a perspective about it. So say when I use words like, biologically or mathematically, I'm telling you that this particular statement that I'm making is from a biological point of view or say a philosophical point of view or a theoretical point, right? So it says that there's a certain tradition. The statement being made is a part of certain tradition or a school of thought, right? Thought is different from school of thought. School of thought means it's a well organized, defined discipline, right? Or it comes from an informed standpoint. Okay, as opposed to thoughts. Thoughts can be fleeting as well as thoughts can be, informed as in school of thought. So standpoint or viewpoint adverbs would basically mean that the statement made comes from a certain kind of perspective. It adds to your existing understanding in an in-depth fashion, right? As opposed to opinion, which is superficial, which is, surface level understanding of things. So this is the basic difference between comment and viewpoint. Okay. Certain words, the very idea of those words are, classified as a comment. Like, when I say things like fortunately or luckily or unbelievably or disappointingly, these words cannot be ever used in the viewpoint sense. It is not a viewpoint. It is basically just a comment. This is your understanding, your comment, or your belief on how certain things have happened or how certain person is, how a certain place is, how a certain incident has happened, right? This doesn't add any perspective or knowledge to your understanding. It's a basic, simple comment on that. So any words that give you that kind of an information, right, is then categorized as a comment adverb, right? The most common examples of them would be words like luckily, fortunately, disappointingly, sadly, happily, right? All of these would be comment adverbs. But the words that I mentioned before, the adverbs, right? Mathematically or biologically or theoretically, right? Naturally, these are all what you classify as viewpoint adverbs, something that can inform a perspective, right? So this is the basic difference between a viewpoint and a comment adverb. Now there are certain adverbs which can have overlaps, as in they can sometimes be used as degree adverbs, sometimes be used as comment adverbs, and sometimes they can also be used as viewpoint, right? So given the difference of the context, probably this word can be used both as a viewpoint adverb and a comment adverb. There are certain adverbs like that. So when we look at the questions, I'll introduce you to some of them. Okay. So that's the basic part on viewpoint and comment adverb. I think we'll just look at the questions straight away so that we can have a clearer understanding of what these adverbs are. Okay. I'm just going to paste the options for you in the chat box. Okay. So that it's easier for you to pick out the answers. So you can just, for your reference, you can look at the chat and pick out the adverbs from the ones that are pasted in the chat to fill in the blanks, right? So we'll start looking at the question. This question is to, to know the right use of the comment and viewpoint adverbs. Okay. So let's see how this works. The first question here for you is dash, the sun rises in the east. Please pick out words from the ones that are available in your chat. Okay. You don't have to go beyond
Naturally.
them. Okay. Naturally, the sun rises in the east. Okay. Naturally, the sun rises in the east. Any other answers possible?
Obviously.
Obviously, the sun rises in the east. Now, you tell me, can we, say Something like obviously the sun rises in the east. Is
Yeah,
obviously, tell me one thing, is obviously like a, how, what do you think? Is obviously a comment adverb or is it a viewpoint adverb? Obviously. When I say
I think so.
obviously,
I think so. It's a comment adverb.
it is a comment adverb. Although obviously, sounds like, we are talking about a factual thing. The use of the word obviously is not always in the case of fact, right? In this case, maybe when you say obviously the sun rises in the east, this sits well. But then we know obviously is a word which can also be used in contexts which are not as factual also, right? So in that sense, uh, it is better to use the word naturally when it comes to facts, right? So say
Okay.
naturally the sun rises in the east, not obviously the sun rises in the east, okay? Because obviously has more of this comment flavor than the viewpoint one. So keep away from that. There's another word which functions like this. It's clearly. Okay, some people, yeah, clearly the sun rises in the east. So this is also, if you're using it, then you're making it a comment. And in cases of factual statements like this, it probably is not a, it's not deemed fit to use that word. So use the word naturally, right? Naturally, the sun rises in the east. If you're dealing with a fact, then it's better you go for the word naturally. Okay. Now, the sun dash rises in the east. Second one, the sun dash rises in the east. What would you use here? Again, you're dealing with a fact, right? If you say the sun obviously rises in the east, is that right? Do you think it's wrong
No,
if I say the sun obviously rises in the east? No,
no,
right? You
Malika.
don't you don't make a statement like, oh, the sun obviously rises in the east. Okay? The sun naturally rises in the east. Okay, the sun naturally rises in the east. Okay, if you say obviously rises in the east, then it changes the context of the statement. But in general, you don't use a sentence like the sun obviously rises in the east. Again, like in the previous case. Okay. But what is the difference here? Is there any difference? So usually, when you talk about comment and viewpoint, yeah, when you talk about comment and viewpoint, sometimes people would say that, mostly in writing, the viewpoint, adverbs, right? The viewpoint adverbs, they tend to take the first position, as you see in the first sentence, right? Naturally, the sun rises in the east. So if you're trying to make a sentence or you're trying to say something along a viewpoint, then that particular word would appear in the, that adverb would appear in the beginning of the sentence, right? They appear as a sentence adverb. Remember sentence adverb from the lectures? Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? Okay.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you hear any background noises? Is it any loud sounds?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. All right. So sentence adverbs are basically the adverbs which appear in the beginning of a sentence, right? And they take the whole of the sentence within its scope, right? So whatever is that word, the remaining part of the sentence, the whole of the sentence then is under its ambit, right? It's basically that particular adverb guards the rest of the sentence. It takes the whole of it within its scope. So this viewpoint adverbs also, whenever they appear in a sentence, they usually appear in the beginning of a sentence. This is one way maybe you can identify structurally between what is a viewpoint adverb and what is a comment adverb. Right? Comment adverbs, they can appear anywhere. They can either appear in the beginning or they can appear somewhere in the middle of the sentence. Okay, definitely not at the end of the sentence because that is grammatically wrong. So either in the beginning or in the middle of the sentence for comment adverbs, right? But viewpoint adverbs mostly always appears in the beginning of the sentence. This is one structural difference between both of them. Structural means as they appear in the sentence, right? It's positioning. In what position do you see them in a sentence, right? So viewpoint, almost all the time comes in the beginning of the sentence, separated from the rest of the sentence with a comma, right? Behaves like a sentence adverb. But your viewpoint, sorry, your comment adverb can come either in the beginning or it can come anywhere else in the sentence. It's more fluid in its positioning. Okay. So this one think about that. Okay, so the sun naturally rises in the, but then in this case, the sun naturally rises in the east. We still, because of the nature of the adverb used here, this is still a viewpoint adverb. Although it has moved its position from the beginning to the middle of the sentence, that is before the main verb. Here it is still a viewpoint adverb. Okay, it is not a comment adverb because of the nature of the sentence. This is a factual sentence, so you cannot pass it on like a comment. So this is a, in this case, even though it shifts its position from the beginning to the middle of the sentence, the word naturally here is still a viewpoint adverb. Okay, keep that in mind. Obviously, I mean, we are talking about language, so there would be certain cases of exceptions here and there, right? So this is one such case. Okay. I hope you've understood that part. Now, third one, you dash go through the book. What do you think would be the answer?
Wisely.
Wisely go through the book. Okay. No, not as such. Someone says, Aditya says simply. Okay, you simply go through the book. Yeah, that could be an answer. Simply go through the book. Any other answers? Okay, so
Clearly.
obviously is not
No,
correct,
no,
but
clearly,
see,
ma'am.
now I
Clearly.
was responding to someone else in the chat. Yeah, clearly, you clearly go through the book. Yeah, you clearly go through the book is also fine. Okay, all right. But the best choice for you would be simply just is not a part of uh, the adverbs that I've given to you in the chat. Don't pick up anything beyond that one. Okay, just as a different kind of. It is not wrong, but it's a different kind of adverb. We are discussing viewpoint and uh, uh, comment here, just as a different kind of adverb that we'll come to in a little while. So simply is fine. Clearly is also okay. Okay. Fourth one, I had dash conveyed the secret message. I have dash conveyed the secret message. Answers?
Wisely.
Wisely conveyed the secret message. No, so pick the answers from the, yeah, correct. Confidentially, right? So the clue for it is there in your answer itself. Sorry, in the question itself. Secret message, right? How do you convey a secret message? Confidentially, right? Without anybody knowing about it. So I had confidentially conveyed the secret message. Now, is this a viewpoint adverb or a degree? Sorry, comment adverb. Viewpoint or I had confidentially conveyed the secret message.
Comment, ma'am.
Is it comment or is it viewpoint?
Comment adverb.
This is a comment adverb, right? It doesn't add any perspective. Viewpoint needs to add some perspective. There is nothing, there is nothing called a standpoint in the word confidentially. So this is a more simpler adverb. So this is a comment adverb. I did not ask you about the third question. You dash go through the book. You said simply, is this a comment adverb or a degree? Sorry, why am I saying degree again and again? Comment or a viewpoint adverb?
Comment adverb, ma'am.
Comment. Again, in this case also, this is a comment adverb, right? Nothing, you're not adding any perspective. You're simply saying, it's your, like, how I use right now. You're simply saying. So this is an opinion more than a perspective. So that's also a comment adverb. Fifth one, dash, I will be there for the party. Dash, I'll be there for the party.
Obviously.
Obviously, okay, one answer could be obviously.
Fortunately.
Fortunately, okay. Then obviously, fortunately. So if you can use fortunately, then you can also use the word luckily there, right? Is luckily
Yes,
a
ma'am.
part? Yeah, luckily is also there. So luckily you can use uh, any of the three, right? Any of the three could be an answer there. And viewpoint or degree? Sorry,
Viewpoint.
viewpoint or comment?
Comment.
Comment, right? Again, comment. So observe this thing. Here it has again the adverb appears in the beginning of the sentence, like a sentence adverb. But still, this is what? This is a comment adverb, not a viewpoint adverb. Okay. So nature of the verbs, adverbs also help you decide on whether something is a viewpoint adverb or a degree adverb. Sixth one, dash, he was again behaving weird.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately, he was again behaving weird. Okay. Any other answers? Any other answers?
No.
No. Unfortunately, he was again behaving weird. Okay. Okay. You can
Ma'am,
also
there
say
are
clear.
several in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it will be better if you speak because I don't look at the chat as often. Okay. Unbelievably is fine. Okay. Yeah, unbelievably is a good answer. More than unfortunately, you can use maybe unbelievably, or you can also say, yeah, clearly could also be like an answer. But unbelievably, I think is by far the best thing to write. Okay. Seventh one, dash, the man looked troubled. Dash, the man looked troubled.
Unfortunately, the man looked troubled.
Unfortunately, no. I don't think it's very appropriate. Maybe look for a better word. Not unfortunately.
Clearly.
You can
Sadly,
say
sadly,
clearly.
sadly.
Okay. Sadly, okay. Sadly is also fine. Clearly is also fine. Clearly the man looked troubled. Okay. Or sadly the man looked troubled. Okay. All right.
Ma'am, can we say obviously? No.
Obviously, no. I think a better choice would be clearly between obviously and clear. Okay. Eighth one, he was dash walking on the road.
Simply.
He was simply walking on the road. Okay. Then
He was confidently walking on the road.
we don't have confidently, right? That's confidentially. That's already used. Okay. So he was simply walking on the road should be fine. Then next one,
Ma'am, can it be steadily?
steadily.
Yes.
It can be steadily, but that is not the kind of adverbs we are looking at here, right? So I've already shared a list of adverbs in the. Okay, maybe I think some of you joined late. That's why you haven't seen the list. I'll repost it. We are only picking it from a set of adverbs given here. Steadily is not wrong, but we are discussing degree and comment and viewpoint. So there are certain kind of um, viewpoint and adverbs. Sorry, there's certain kind of adverbs which classify more as viewpoint and comment. Steadily is a neutral adverb. It's more like a proper adverb of manner. So not all adverbs of manners can fall under this category. In fact, just give me a moment. I was looking at there was something else that I had here. Let me check it. I don't know. Last time I had that document with me, but it's missing this time. If it was available, I could have shown it to you. Um, just know in case uh, comment. Okay, adverbs. So in all the previous cases, right, all the questions that you've had from, say, question number 5 to question number 8, what is the kind of adverbs you have? Are they viewpoint or are they uh, comment?
Comment.
They're all comment, right? All of them have the nature of comment. None of them are viewpoint adverbs, right? Um, okay, I'm unable to find that document. Okay, if I find it before we end the session, I will show it to you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay. Next one. Next sentence. Dash. He got up and started moving lazily.
Luckily or fortunately?
Luckily, he got up and
Uh,
started moving lazily. Okay.
ma'am, stupidly.
Stupidly, no, not stupidly. Stupidly, he got up and started moving lazily doesn't make much of a sense. Um,
Naturally.
Not naturally, also. Naturally is more like a viewpoint adjective. It doesn't. Unfortunately, he got up and okay. Unfortunately, probably can fit in some sense.
I think luckily will fit.
Uh, you can either say unfortunately or you can also say clearly or obviously also. Clearly and
Ma'am, why
obviously are
Like
actually
it
unfortunately?
would
very
It
be
will be
common.
fortunate.
fortunately, right?
Why?
Fortunately, he got up.
No, because it says moving lazily, right? Lazily is not a positive adverb.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
But
10th
the
one, he
fortunate,
dash.
but I think fortunately will work like finally he got up, then started doing his work. But
No,
unfortunately will.
not really. If you use fortunately, there is a problem with the semantics. You say fortunately, he got up and started moving lazily. If you had but in the place of and, then it would have been right. But and is not, unless you are bringing in a point of contrast there, fortunately will not really add up to the meaning. Okay. Okay. 10th one, he dash dozed off while driving. You can say unfortunately, yes. You can also say stupidly, right? He stupidly dozed off while driving. Okay. Unfortunately, dozed off while driving or stupidly dozed off while driving. Um, okay. 11th one, dash, he got himself out of the situation.
Fortunately, luckily,
Bravely.
wisely,
Fortunately, luckily, uh, bravely, yes, okay, that's also fine.
wisely,
Wisely, yeah, wisely also can do, no problem. Okay, 12th one, dash, she started singing.
confidently,
We don't
Bravely.
have confidently here.
Bravely.
Sorry, what is it?
Bravely, ma'am.
Bravely. Bravely, she started singing. No, no, not bravely.
simply,
Okay.
Simply, she started singing. Okay. You can say unbelievably. Unbelievably, she started singing. Okay. Um, or even obviously. Obviously is like this, it's like a floating adverb. You can, it's more like a, not even like a viewpoint or a comment. It's like a discourse marker. You place it anywhere and it just sinks in there because it actually doesn't mean much. When people say obviously, it's actually not very obvious also most of the time. People just have a habit of using it. It's like the word basically, right? Even though you're not saying anything basic, people keep using the word basically. So words like obviously, basically, more than being adverbs, they've become discourse markers, right? They act as fillers now. So she started singing, sorry, dash, she started singing. You can say simply, or you can also say, what was the other word I used? Unbelievably, right? You can say unbelievably also. Okay. Then she started singing. Next one.
again unbelievably,
You can say she started singing unbelievably. She started singing. Um, Here, I don't think you can use anything else. Unbelievably is fine. But in 12 and 13, it's basically the same sentence, right? But do you think there's a difference of adverb positions here? Like, as in, does
It's
it
a
change from
sentence.
comment to viewpoint?
It's 12th one is a sentence one.
12th and 13th. It is a sentence adverb for sure, but because the discussion is on viewpoint and comment, is there a change
Both
in
are comment.
both are comment, right? Both are comment.
Yeah.
Certain kinds of adverbs are only comments. Unbelievably and all are words which can only come in the context of comment. You don't use them when you are making a viewpoint, right? So although the position sort of alters and the first one, behaves like a sentence adverb, it's still a comment adverb. Okay, 14, the event didn't go as well as expected.
Unfortunately.
Fortunately.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, the event didn't go as well as expected. Okay. 15th, she stayed there despite the warning.
Unbelievably.
Unbelievably, correct. Any other answers?
Stupidly.
Stupidly, yes, correct. Then
Bravely.
bravely, he stayed there despite the warning. Okay, bravely also can fit in that context, maybe. Okay. Then next one would be I will dash help you. I will dash.
Generously.
Yeah, I will generously help you. Okay. I will generously help you.
Clearly.
Clearly, no. Generously is a better fit. Clearly doesn't sound very right there. Not sound as in it's not something that you, when I say not doesn't sound right, I'm basically saying that this is not found in the corpus, right? If you analyze the English text, you don't see something like I will clearly help you. So I will generously help you fits well. He reacted 17th one. He reacted dash by agreeing to their demands.
Cleverly.
He reacted cleverly, or you can also say stupidly, or you can say wisely, or you can say unbelievably. Yeah. Okay. Many of them could fit.
Generously.
He reacted generously by agreeing to the demands. Yes, that's also fine. Then 18th one is Mohit dash estimated the expenses.
Wisely.
Wisely estimated the expenses. Yes, correct.
Cleverly.
Cleverly, rightly, right? Or if you're using rightly, then you could
Stupidly.
probably also say wrongly. He wrongly estimated the expenses, right?
Simply.
Simply, no. Simply estimated the expenses,
Stupidly.
no. Stupidly also won't fit there. So you can simply say Mohit rightly or wrongly. You can also say wisely. Yeah, that's all. You can also say clearly estimated the expenses. Okay, 19, some species of turtle are dash endangered.
Naturally.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately endangered. Okay, good.
Obviously.
Are obviously endangered. Obviously endangered.
Ma'am, is it viewpoint?
No, it's not. Some species of turtle are dash endangered. It's not a
It's a
uh,
fact.
no. It is not fact. It's not that. Fact is when you should be able to be more specific. Like sun rises in the east is a statement that you cannot say no. But some species of turtle are endangered is still open to debate, right? It has to be more specific. If you say that this particular species is endangered, then it is okay. It has the word some, right? So it's still indefinite.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Then comes the last one, 20 dash. I advise you to visit your parents. Cleverly. Not cleverly. Cleverly, you can use in the 18th one, Mohit. Cleverly estimated the expense. Or
Simply.
17th one, he reacted cleverly by agreeing to the demands, but not the last one. Sorry, what was your answer? Last.
Simply.
No, I did not hear you.
Rightly.
Simply.
Okay. Rightly advise you to visit your parents. No. but simply is correct. Simply, I advise you to visit your parents. Okay, that's it's okay.
Obviously.
Which one? Sorry.
Obviously.
Obviously, yes. Obviously, I think is an answer which goes for most of it. So obviously, I advise you to visit your parents. Yes, fine. Simply, I advise you to visit your parents. Fine. Okay, both are right. Okay. Now we go to the next one. Similar one. So here, when you're answering, you also tell me whether the use is of that of an adverb of comment or viewpoint. Okay? Okay, first one. Dash, you're in charge. Obviously, foolishly, wisely.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Obviously, you're in charge. Obviously, you're in charge, and obviously, so what kind of adverb?
Adverb
Comment
of
adverb.
comment.
Adverb of comment, correct. Then he will dash come wisely, definitely, critically.
Definitely.
Adverb of
He
comment.
will adverb of comment again, right? Definitely is again not something that you can use as a viewpoint. He will definitely come is an opinion, is a comment, is a belief. Okay. 3 dash, it is the weather to be blamed. Technically, disappointingly, generously.
Disappointingly.
Disappointingly.
Okay. So you can have two answers here. You can say disappointingly. You can also say technically. Right? Technically, it is the weather to be blamed. Or you can say disappointingly, it is the weather to be blamed. Now, there's a difference here. Which one is a viewpoint adverb? Which one is a comment adverb?
Technically, it's a
Technically.
viewpoint. Disappointingly is a comment.
Correct, right? So disappointingly, obviously, is the adverb of comment here. Technically, is the viewpoint adverb. Why is it a viewpoint adverb?
Because it's stating a fact.
Because now it is not an opinion. When I say technically, it means I'm referring to some technical reasons. Okay, technical reasons in the weather. Say there is something. It is not specifically given in the sentence, but I know there are technical reasons. When I say technically, it is the weather to be blamed, right? So I am saying we need to verify this technically, or technically something shows that the weather is to be blamed. This is not simply my comment that, oh, disappointingly it is the weather to be blamed, right? There's something to cross verify. So this one is a viewpoint. Technically is a viewpoint. Okay. Rajiv dropped his phone. Certainly, obviously, unfortunately.
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 Unfortunately,
Okay.
it's a comment.
It is comment. Yes, correct. Bees are attracted to flowers.
Naturally.
Naturally. Can
It's a
we say
viewpoint.
obviously?
Viewpoint.
Okay. It is viewpoint, correct? Naturally and viewpoint. Can we say bees are obviously attracted to flowers?
Sir, can you repeat your question again?
Can we say bees are obviously attracted to flowers?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
that's the
Yeah,
fact.
we can, right? Say in a figurative expression, you can say bees are obviously attracted to flowers. Okay. Something like, flies are obviously attracted to fruits, things like that. But there it is more like what are we saying? Are we giving a viewpoint?
No,
Or are
then
we
it
giving
will be
comment?
comment.
So my question was exactly on that. When I say obviously, bees are obviously attracted to flowers. Bees are flies are obviously attracted to fruits. Am I commenting or am I hinting something as a viewpoint there? Even though the word used is obviously.
Ma'am, hinting
Viewpoint.
something.
It's a viewpoint, right? Because it's still a fact, no? It's still a fact.
Yes, yes.
I can say naturally attracted to flowers or naturally attracted to fruits. I can also say obviously attracted to fruits, obviously attracted to flowers. Even though I use the word obviously there, it's still a fact. It doesn't change. Does it? No. So here obviously is then what? It's again a viewpoint adverb, right? So there are adjectives. So if you remember, I told you in the beginning, there are adverbs which in certain contexts can also act as viewpoint adverb. So obviously is one such case. In this sentence, it is that. obviously attracted to flowers. Okay.
Ma'am,
Sixth one.
sorry
Sorry?
to interrupt. I'm saying that in case of sunrises in east, it's also obviously sunrises in east. It's a viewpoint, no?
No. See, sun rises in the east is a super fact statement. Okay. So you can't say obviously sun rises in the east, right? As a comment. That is not possible. Or even if you're using obviously as a word to indicate a viewpoint, it doesn't sit well with that particular sentence, which is why I said in certain contextual sentences it is possible. Sun rises in the east is what you consider as a super fact. It's a super fact. You can't go above anything in that.
Yes, universal truth.
So that
Yeah.
one has to be treated as a proper viewpoint technical statement. Okay? Not like bees attracted to flowers. Why I said this is because these kind of statements can sometimes be used for comparison, right? So you say, obviously bees are attracted to flowers to be quoted in certain other contexts, right? To figurative examples. But sun rises in the east is not a sentence that you can use for comparison with any other life incidents, right? That's not possible.
Yes, yeah.
Which is why
Universal.
we call them a super fact. Okay.
Okay, understand. Okay, thank you.
Okay. If these factual statements have comparative value, if you can use them to create an analogy of sort in a certain other context, then you have a space to use them as a with the other kind of adverbs, like obviously. But sun rises in the east is not that kind of a statement. It's a super technical factual statement. That's all. Okay. Okay. Sixth one, he didn't understand the lecture. Dash, he didn't understand the lecture.
Obviously,
Critically,
Obviously, he didn't understand the lecture. Yes, correct.
Disappointingly, ma'am, because I'm disappointed. He
Disappointingly, we don't have, no. Where is the option? We only have critically, happily, and obviously. We can say he, disappointingly, he didn't understand. That's right. But in the given options, we don't have disappointing.
it's
But
a comment.
disappointingly is correct. No problem. Okay.
It's a comment.
Next, you have, did anybody have a question?
It's a comment, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's a comment. Correct. It's a comment. Seventh one, he didn't get the promotion.
Disappointingly,
Sorry. Yeah, disappointingly, he didn't get the promotion. Okay.
it's a comment.
Yeah, it's a comment. And can you say he obviously didn't get the promotion?
we can.
We can.
Yeah,
Hey, we can. As a comment, we can say he obviously didn't get the promotion. So that's also correct. Eighth one, he forgot to sign the agreement.
Foolishly,
Foolishly, he forgot to sign the agreement.
It's
Again?
a comment, ma'am.
And it's a comment, yes. Okay. Ninth one, he narrated the whole incident, obviously, stupidly, truthfully.
Truthfully,
Truthfully.
Yeah, truthfully narrated the whole incident. Okay. Truthfully narrated the whole incident.
I think it's a comment, ma'am.
It's a comment. It's a comment. Definitely, it's a comment. 10th one, he escaped from being caught.
Cleverly,
Cleverly, he
comment.
escaped from being caught. And this is a comment.
comment.
Yeah, correct. Now, he was asking for some money.
Strangely,
Surely,
He was surely asking for some money. Yes, we can.
strangely,
He was strangely asking for some money. No,
Clearly.
not strangely. Okay. You can either say surely or you can say clearly. Okay.
okay.
A or B both can be the answer. And this is comment.
Yeah,
Okay. 12th one, he treated the poor. He treated the poor.
kindly,
kindly,
He kindly treated the poor. He
That is a
kindly, yeah, kindly. And this is a comment. Yes. 13, I reached on time despite the traffic.
Fortunately.
fortunately,
Fortunate. Yes, fortunately.
comment.
And it's a comment. Yes. 14, he forgot to switch off the lights.
Carelessly,
carelessly,
Careless.
Carelessly.
it's
he
a
forgot to
comment.
switch. And it's a comment, yes. Dash, he reached on time.
Luckily.
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 Luckily,
Comment.
right?
That's a
Luckily, he
comment.
reached on time. And a comment, correct. He was dash good in her performance.
Unbelievably.
Personally.
She
Unbelievably.
was unbelievably good in her performance, yes.
That's a
Unbelievably.
comment.
Comment, yes. He dash presented the report critically, confidentially, sure.
Confidentially.
Confidential.
He confidentially presented the report, yes.
That's a comment, ma'am.
Comment, yeah. He dash, he offered him food, generously, happily, foolishly.
Generously.
Generously.
Generously, he offered him food.
It's a comment.
Happily, can you say happily?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
say
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can say happily also. And both of them would be used as
comment.
Comment.
comment. Yeah, correct. Okay. 19th one, dash, the people walked away.
Thoughtfully.
Thoughtfully, the people walked away. Okay. What does thoughtfully mean? We can say that, it's right. Thoughtfully, you can say the people walked away. What
Ma'am,
else
we
can
can
you
say
say?
obviously. Obviously.
We can say obviously, we can say wisely also, right? All the three would be okay. Obviously, wisely, thoughtfully. But are they all used as comments, or are there,
It's
words
a
which are,
comment.
Comment.
okay, all of them comments?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, all of them are comments. Okay, 20th one, dash, I was blamed for the losses.
Wrongly.
Wrongly.
Wrongly. Wrongly, I
Comment.
was blamed for the losses. Okay.
That's a comment.
Can you also say theoretically, I was blamed for the losses?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Because
Typically.
theoretically, it will be coming for fact.
It will not come for fact. Theories needn't be always, theories are propositions, right? Something that you propose. So theoretically, I was blamed for the losses. Yes, you're right. You cannot say a statement like that. The answer here would be wrongly, I was blamed for the losses, because we are again, looking at something that is more comment like, not a viewpoint, right?
So theoretically is comment or viewpoint.
Theoretically is viewpoint.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So from this, you have to infer something from this, right? So one thing is that what kind of adverbs are more common?
Comment.
Comment adverbs are more common, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
The viewpoint adverbs, they probably are only a part of writing, right? They're mostly or more prominently found in writing than in speaking. In informal speech or conversations, right, day-to-day conversations, it's the adverb of comments that make more of entry to our language, right, to our use of language. But in writing, especially in formal writing, right, if it is a formal domain of writing, like say a scientific writing or technical writing or professional writing, then you will see the use of viewpoint adverbs are more, right? Because formal also means that you're going to write down something more authentically and credibly, right? Those kind of writings will definitely require more use of adverbs of viewpoint over adverbs of comments. Adverbs of comments, in fact, is something that is not advised to use at all in formal forms of writing, right? So in conversational aspects, then you find more of comment adverbs, and that is informal. Okay, informal speaking also you're going to encounter a lot of viewpoint adverbs. Formal writing also again viewpoint adverbs. But if it's an informal or a less formal domain of speech or writing, then it's more of adverbs of comments. Okay, so that's a takeaway for you from this, from the questions that we discussed. Okay, one last thing here, and we'll close for today. For your syllabus and your modules that we've covered for English 2, there's another important kind of adverbs that needs introduction, right? And that's called the adverbs of focus. Now, just like adverbs of viewpoint and comment, you know what their functions are now. Focus adverbs also have a task of, emphasis, right? Usually you use the adverbs of focus when you want to bring emphasis, when you want to draw the attention of your reader or your listener to certain part of the statement that you write or you speak, right? So whenever you want to drag the attention to a particular segment or a portion or a part of the sentence, then you use the adverbs of focus. Now, just like other kind of adverbs of focus are also very fluid, right? They can move between the words from one place to the other. You can either find them in the beginning or you can see them sliding along, different parts in the sentence. Now, particularly adverbs of focus, because they are the adverbs that are used to provide emphasis, they are particularly more fluid than the other kinds of adverbs, like viewpoint adverbs or degree adverbs or comment adverbs, right? These are more fluid because these are the kind of adverbs which we use to add emphasis to a particular part. So you take this adverb and place it right in front of a certain segment, that particular segment gets highlighted. You change that adverb to another position before some other element, that particular element gets highlighted, right? So given its function of providing emphasis, this is a more fluid category of adverbs than any other forms of adverbs, any other kinds, right? We look at these questions, but before that, I wanted to take a look at this table here. I'm just going to zoom it out a little bit so that I can fit that table in the one go. Stay large of this table. Okay, can you see the chart clearly now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just take a look at it. All the adverbs that you see here, they are used for the purpose of bringing emphasis. Yeah, I hope you understand what emphasis means, right? When you want to stress upon a certain aspect or a certain element in the sentence, you use these kind of adverbs. So while that happens, while you give an emphasis, you can use any of these. I don't know how many, I haven't counted them, but any of them that you see this is not an exhaustive list, right? There could be more adverbs which can fit into this category. I've only provided the ones which are, very commonly used, okay? And out of them also, there are few of them which are very, very commonly used, right? They're very prominently and rightly used. Certain others, you may not encounter them as often as you see the others. Like, for example, also, to, even, alone, but, just, only, either, or, neither, nor, even, right? These kind of words, we see them more often than the rest of the words in the list. However, the list as a whole is something that you can encounter way more frequently than the other words which can fit into this list. Okay, so therefore, not all the possible words are here, but the ones which, are more commonly used. Okay, just as a disclaimer to this chart. Now see, when they're used to add emphasis to, the part which you want to stress upon, you can either use them to serve an additive function. Okay, additive means to add something to what is being said, right? Or you can also use them to give a limiting function to the emphasis, that is to provide a limitation of what something can do versus what something cannot do, right? That is limitation, right? Or it can also add partial limitation, right? Partial limitation means it gives you a degree. To what level can it not do? To what level can it do, right? Limitation is simply telling what can be done, what cannot be done. Partial means to what extent can it be done, to what extent cannot be done, right? Look at the words there: chiefly, especially, mostly, mainly, notably, particularly, predominantly, right? It gives you limitation, but a kind of partial limitation, right? Then choice. So emphasis can be added to show choice as well, right? To show which one is a chosen thing among the list given, among the 2 or the 3 or the 4 entities given. Negative emphasis also can be there, right? Sometimes you want to add a negative emphasis, not a positive emphasis. So for that reason, you can use neither and nor, right? And to add an element of surprise, right? Emphasis based on surprise, you use the word even. So idea is, when you're giving emphasis to a certain part of the sentence, it can be either an additive emphasis, it can be a limiting emphasis, it can be a partially limiting emphasis, it can be a choice-based emphasis, or a negative emphasis, or a surprised or a shocked element-based emphasis, right? So I have categorized it for the sake of the understanding of meaning. You don't have to learn this table, just have a look at it. right? You obviously will understand it from the context of the sentence given. But, just to show you the classification I've just given this to, again, this is not from a source. This is something you can analyze on your own and come up with. So, this is the chart. Now we'll go to the questions. Okay. You will understand these concepts better when we look at the questions. Okay. First question is mobile phones can browse the internet. They can dash play music. I think I'll
Also,
also. So for our questions here, 1 to 10, we'll, because there are too many of them, we are not going to take all of them here. We'll just focus on the 4 very, very commonly used adverbs of focus. Also just only even, right? So pick up 1 or 2 or whichever ones you think is possible in the blanks, but among the 4 of them, okay? Don't go beyond that. Okay, so they can also play music. Okay, so additive emphasis, they can also play music. Any other answers there?
even.
They can even play music, yes. So you can say they can also play music. Additive emphasis, they can even play music. Surprise element, surprise emphasis. Can we say they can just play music? Sorry,
No.
mobile phones can browse the internet. They can, just is not possible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we say only?
No.
No, right? Because the previous sentence provides you the context, right? It has to be something additive or surprise. We can't add a limiting emphasis here given the context of the previous sentence. Now, second one, my mobile phone cannot make long distance call. It can dash make local calls.
Only.
It can only make local calls. What other answer can you write here? Can we
Ma'am,
say just?
Just.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Only.
No, only and just, right? We can say both only and just. Okay, both of them giving you limiting emphasis, right? Okay, my mobile phone can navigate to an address. It can dash show me where the traffic is.
Also and even.
Also.
Correct. Also and even, both, right? So you can either say also or you can say even, additive and surprise. Okay, 4. My mobile phone cannot browse the internet. It cannot dash save phone numbers.
Even.
Also.
It cannot also save phone numbers. Okay, not also. It is not additive here, no? It's a limiting thing here. Cannot browse the internet. It cannot. You can say also actually because the word cannot is there. It cannot also save phone numbers. What else?
Even.
Even. It cannot even save phone numbers. So here it is shock, right? Not surprise, shock. Or even surprise. You're surprised that it can't even save phone numbers. So also or even. 5th one, dash a cell phone can do this work.
Only.
Ah.
Or just.
Yeah, just a cell phone can do this work. Only a cell phone can do this work. Any other answer?
Also.
Also, no, not also, but you can say even. Even a cell phone can do this work. Okay, that is possible. So even just and only, not also. 6th one, dash my phone can make calls to family in this area. Now, beginning from 6, I'm going to show you how this adverbs of focus can move, from one position to the other. And as they move from a position to the other, they change the focus of the sentence, right? They change the emphasized part of the sentence. And how we can do that, right? By moving the adverbs of focus along the sentence from one position to another. We'll see how the focus changes and how the meaning of the sentence changes as the focus changes, okay? So for our purpose, we are going to use only the word only for sentences from 6 to 10. Other answers could be right, but since I'm going to demonstrate the meaning part of how the meaning changes as you move the focus adverb, I'm going to take only as the adverb here. Okay, so only my cell phone can make calls to family in this area. Now, where is the focus here? Only my phone can make calls. What is being focused? What is being emphasized here? Only my
Only.
My
what
phone.
part? My phone. Okay, only my phone. My cannot be emphasized, right? Because my is what? It's a determiner. To be focused, you need to have something that is more concrete, like a noun or verb or an adjective or something. So my phone is the one which is being focused. Only my phone. So nobody else's phone. Only my phone can make calls to family in this. Okay. Now, seventh sentence. My phone can only make calls to family in this area. Where is the focus here?
Family.
My phone can only make calls to family in this area. Where is the focus?
And family.
No, not family. Where is
Make
the focus adverb?
calls. Make calls. I mean calls.
Make calls to family in this area. Okay, so my phone can only make my phone can only make
In
calls
this
to
area.
in this area. So the
False.
seventh and the eighth sentence would be more or less the same. Okay. So if I say my phone can, because make call is like a phrasal verb, right? I can also say my phone can only call uh, the family in this area. But instead of that, I have changed the verb call to a more like a phrasal verb, make call, right? So because of changing the verb to the phrasal verb, seventh and eighth would have the same answer, right? Same meaning. So my phone can only make calls to family in this area. My phone can make only calls to family in this area. Both will mean that the phone can make only calls. It cannot like click pictures or it cannot record voice or anything. It can only make calls. Okay. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So seventh and eighth would have the same meaning, right? Because they've just, this is basically a case of, I think you probably have already learned this, separable and inseparable phrasal verb, right? From the lectures.
Yes, yes.
So make call is a separable phrasal verb. So the meaning remains same whether you split it open or you keep it together. So whether you say can make only calls to family in this area or can only make calls to family in this area, it's the same thing. Okay, because they are because make call is a separable phrasal verb. Okay. Ninth one, my phone can make calls dash to family in this area. Only to family in this area. Now, where is the stress here?
Only to the family.
To
Only
family.
to
Only to family. So it cannot send it to individuals or anything. Only if you're a family, then the phone will make a call. Okay. Weird, but the meaning that you get if you move the focus adverb is this, right? It may not be factually correct or it may not make sense also, but we are only grammatically decoding it, right? We are not looking at the sense part at this moment. So my phone can make calls only to family in this area. So only to families, not individuals. Okay. Last one, my phone can make calls to family only in this area. Where is the focus?
The area.
only in this area.
The area. Only in this area. Nowhere else. Only in this area. So from 6 to 8, you see 4 different instances of meaning as only moves from, a position to a different one in the sentence, right? This happens because only is used as a focus adverb. Whenever you want to move the focus to a certain part of the sentence, you simply move these focus adverbs from one place to the other. Okay. That's all. That's all the function of focus adverbs. Okay. All right. I think we have successfully completed the one on adverbs. Any questions? This is a very simple unit. It's not very complicated. Just need to focus a lot more on context and meaning, and then things will work fine. Any questions? Anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I think we can close for today if you don't have any questions. Next week we'll take up clauses. Okay. Complex, compound, simple, as well as dependent, independent clauses and subordinate clauses, noun clause, adjective clause, adverbial clause. Okay. that we'll discuss in the next session. That will take us 2 sessions for sure. So this one is, I think this one is fine. And if you have more questions, then you can, of course, write to us, right, on this course. Okay. See you all then next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you so much.